It's a trip down memory lane, isn't it? It's just kind of crazy to think that so much time has gone by so fast. I just remember doing the seat fit for my first season with Mercedes, and geez, we're embarking on the 8th year together. So it's just, you look at these old cars and they're still so fresh, they're still new, but technology continues to move each and every year, and it just never stops. There's so many happy memories. It just reminds me of the best period of time in my life. I mean, ultimately the dream was to get to Formula One. I think I'd always dreamt of Ayrton's cars, so I dreamt of the red and white, kind of the Marlboro car that he had driven. I remember I used to go to McLaren, I used to walk into the headquarters and there'll be a kind of a showroom in the lobby as you walk in. You go to Mercedes-Benz in Stuttgart and you see the Road of Evolution and you see these cars. I hadn't dreamt of having my cars lined up there. That felt way too far-fetched, if I'm really honest. But I just wanted to be amongst it and in one. The McLaren, it was always such a beautiful car. I think it was one of the most elegant looking cars that Formula One had ever produced. I can't remember how long it's been since I've driven that car, but it's really small compared to the car that I raced this year in the last 3 years. But still, memory, that was a turbulent period of time in my life. I think just so much was happening in my second year of Formula One. There's so much I wish that I knew when I was younger, but I'm pretty sure it's the same for everyone that is growing in life. It's my journey, and each and every single person will go through their own thing, and I can't tell a kid, don't do this. I remember my dad would always be, don't do that, don't do that, don't do this. No, in trying to protect me, but the only way to learn is by making the mistakes yourself, and the journey that I'm on as an individual is different to what my dad would have experienced, although there may be similarities of which you can pass down, but I learned through trial and error. And that's still the racer at heart that I was when I arrived in Formula One, and I don't think that's ever going to change, but I think the goal is always to be the most well-rounded racing driver that I could possibly be. And I'd like to think that I feel very proud that I think that I've got to, at least to this point, the most all-round driver that I could be. I love the journey of getting to where I want to be in terms of the success. It's difficult to really talk about like the sacrifices because everyone's making sacrifices in life. It's all relative, and it's just my particular job and dream is just always relatively big and kind of far-fetched, and it just takes a lot of it takes a long journey to get there. It takes a different type of commitment. But if you want to be a boxer, it's a different type of regime. If you want to be the head of Google, it's a different journey. It's just each one's just different, and every single one would take sacrifices. So I never really look at those and say, oh, but I had to do this to get where I am. I just work ethic. How much do you want it? Simple question. You really want it? Then do the freaking work. Now I'm going into my 8th year with my team. We've got more to achieve. We're constantly growing as a team in every area, in every department, and in every way. And as a driver, I'm constantly learning more about the sport. I'm constantly learning more about the car. I'm constantly learning more about the driving side of things and the big kind of circus that it is. I want to build a company. I want to help some youngsters. I want to help change this sport somehow to be in an even more diverse sport. I want to encourage the teams to be diverse. I want the sport to be more accessible. I was at the FIA gala and I came across an Asian family, and I was like, hey, I thought I was going to be the only brown person here, because that's how it normally is. You know, it's funny to laugh at that kind of thing, but I'm in a world where that's been common for my entire life. So to see people of color in the audience, whether it's black, Asian, whatever it may be, it's just great to see diversity slowly creeping in, because it is a world that's open to everyone. And I hope at some stage there's a young, powerful woman that comes through and blows the field away. And wouldn't that be something special? Opening your mind to the different possibilities of different things you can do, and I try everything. There's not a single thing I don't try, and there might be things I like more than others, but at least I give it a try. But I believe that I can be good at pretty much anything I decide to do if I work at it the way I know how to work. And I think that's really been the shift. I have lots of other loves and passions. If I was to stop right now and this is it, geez, I know I'm gonna have a whale of a time moving forwards, challenging these other things that I have. There's so much to do in this beautiful thing we call life. Yeah, what does it all really mean? I work with an incredible group of people. We've worked and we've been successful collectively as a team. That's the great thing, is you can never do anything on your own. You have to do it always. You always have to have good people around you, good team. Teamwork makes the dream work. I don't know why it's not sunk in, but I don't think they ever did. Even when I won the 2005 World European Championship in Formula 3, even when I won the World Championship in karting and European Championships and all those things, British Championship when I was 10, it doesn't change anything in particular. It's just your job is done in that year and you just move on to the next thing, and you know, you're always looking forward, and that's how I'm tuned. I'm just always looking forward and never really looking back and thinking anything more than what a great roller coaster ride it was. Next is, there's so much. Do what makes you happy, do what you love, and just trying to be a positive beam of light whenever you can.